So this session is more back bends, and they're a little bit more challenging, so be warned. You can learn them and do them in about a 10-minute sequence. Probably take me 20 minutes to do it this morning. You know, mix and match them with simpler poses that we've done in previous videos. And you can also leave some out if you don't want to do them. The reason why I like back bends is they create an abundance of energy in the body. They also relieve stress, and they do wonders for your posture, tone the muscles of the back and the spine, and massively improve digestion and circulation. So the important thing is to always keep your breath flowing. You know, when you go into a back bend, there's a tendency to go and stop breathing. So keep breathing. It's really important on focusing on keeping that flow of oxygen and moving the blood through the muscles. Okay, so we're going to start, as usual these days, with lying on our mat. So here we are, lying on your mat comfortably. Always have a nice blanket underneath me. Okay, and we're going to do the gentle bridge, which we've done before. So I would remove your socks. So remember that the bridge awakens the spine and also opens up the belly here. It works really the muscles of the lower body, the thighs, the glutes, the abdominal area. So let's go from extended mountain, nice long stretch, just to get the body moving a bit. Do the left, do the right, nice and long. Really, oh, yummy stretch, yummy stretch. Yummy, yummy, yummy stretch. Ooh. And if you want, you can sneak in a little croissant shape to the one side, where you just move your heels, and the backs of your hands to each side. So from above, you look like a banana or a croissant. It's probably the nicest thing anybody's ever said to you. Okay, long stretch, and then bring the heels up to the torso. And of course, if you've got your blanket underneath, you're going to need the non-stick surface. So just make sure your feet are on the sticky surface, and then rock the pelvis towards you, away from you. Just get it moving, that little gentle supine rocking, and then check through the feet, even weight through the feet. Breathe in and up, chin to chest, arms behind you. Breathe out and down. Okay, rock the pelvis away from you, and we try to get synchronized, really. The lift and the backs of the hands ending on the floor. All of that happens in a fluid motion. Up, 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 up. Pop the hands up the pelvis. Backs of the hands touch the floor, chin is to the chest, lift, breathe out and go down. So the things that go wrong with this pose is that people's knees splay out quite wide, thighs are meant to be kept parallel, and their chin starts to point to the ceiling. Okay, so those are things to check. And they tend to put the weight just through the heels of the feet rather than pushing through all of the sole of the foot. Okay, the next one we're going to stay up. So breathing in, coming up. Okay, and you'll feel the mid and lower back muscles working. Keep breathing, remember, keep that blood oxygen circulating. If there's any pain in the front of the kneecaps, you can move your feet or toes to alleviate that pressure on the front of the kneecap. And you stay up there minimum of about 30 seconds. But obviously 10 seconds is better than no seconds. Lovely, okay. And breathing out, coming down. Okay, you can bring the knees to the chest as a nice counterpose with that. And then we're going to do it one last time coming up, and we're going to tuck our hands underneath. So breathing in, going up, and then bring the hands underneath, clasp them, tuck the shoulders underneath the body. You might have seen that little wriggle I did to do that. Checking on my thighs, that the thighs are parallel. Lift, push the hands towards the feet. Lift, chin towards the chest. Full Setu Bandhasana, Setu Bandhasana, bridge pose. Okay. And then for fun, sometimes it's quite nice to lift one leg. If you can do that, that really gets the glutes and the back muscles working. And then breathe out, bring it down. Probably stop breathing there. Other leg, keep breathing, keep breathing, keep breathing. And breathe out and come down. Wonderful. And then lift again. And release again. Knees to chest, knees to chest. And then I'd like you to just see if you can bring your hands through to meet your ankles. You may not be able to do that. Okay. And lift. So that's a little bit more tricky. Don't do it if you feel that's really making it too difficult. Also, you may not be able to reach. I kind of cheated there. So when you're up, you want the ankles to be beneath the knee joint, because whenever the knee joint goes in front of the foot, we're actually compromising the knee joint. So I think I can probably, let's get that right there. Can I reach? Not really, nearly, okay? Trying to. And then breathe out, coming down, clasp the knees, good counter pose. So from that back bend to a forward bend over the thighs. And whenever I do this pose, I like to do the circles, nice circles. Just massaging the back there, nice and comfortable. Okay. Both directions, and then pull in again. A little bit of abdominal massage, and you can treadle the feet. Keep those ankles nice and flexible. Okay, and just straighten the legs upwards and rotate the ankles. Okay, good. The more we rotate a joint, the better it is, really, because it sends a signal to the brain to use synovial fluid and send it to that joint. If we don't use a joint very much, the brain gets the signal, oh, well, let's not bother wasting synovial fluid. Let's just stop sending it to that joint. The joint stiffens up, we use it less. Vicious circle, okay? So I'm just bending the knees in the air, just basically getting more synovial fluid into the knee joint without weight bearing. Okay, it's especially good if you've got anything wrong with your knees. And knees tend to be a bit dodgy, especially after the age of, dare I say it, 50 or 60. Okay, and then just roll over. And what I'd like us to do next is I'd like us to do bridge, relying on our front. You can put the blanket out on your mat. Yay, make ourselves comfy. And coming down, I'd like you to lift the heels up. Okay, feel that bend in the knee. And then just lift up one leg and reach back and come up. Just on one side. Okay, so this is the bow pose, lifting up, lifting up, lifting up. Okay, good, release. And then obviously reach back on the other side. Lift up, lift up, lift up. Lovely, and release. Rest a moment on stacked hands. Oh, the rest is nice. Yay. And then you probably know what's coming next. It's both legs up, feet up, reach back. Now, we definitely don't want those legs laying out, nor the knees laying out. Nice parallel lift, and look to the opposite wall, or even upwards if you can. Okay, so in some of the more, shall we say, ambitious yoga books, they say place the feet on the back of the head. Yes, that's what they say. But we're doing fine exactly where we are. So breathing into that. Keep breathing, keep breathing, keep breathing, keep breathing. I know it really stretches the front of the thighs. And if you can't go back, if you can't lift them very far, that's fine. Okay. So eventually lowering them to the ground and rest on one cheek on stacked hands. Pause, nothing to do. Surprisingly strenuous, that one. And it was very good for the kidneys, the urinary tracts, keeps them healthy, meant to prevent varicose veins, keeps the reproductive organs healthy, and relieves anxiety. So very beneficial. And you don't have to do them both together. You can stick with just doing one at a time. Okay. And then I'd like you to push with your hands to come up so that you're in a kneeling pose. Okay. And from the kneeling pose, I'd like you to put your hands into the kind of small of your back. You could even, if you want to be precise, take your middle finger and place it on one of those sacroiliac dimples, okay? And feet, what could you do with the feet? I would recommend tucking the feet under like so, toes under like so, okay? And then breathing in, look up. Breathe out, relax the shoulders. Breathing in, stretch the neck open. And then breathing out, we go back. Okay, so this is the easy camel. And if you're not finding it so easy, then you can call it the hard camel. Right, but it's wonderful into that, well, you can feel it around here, all the muscles that tend to be weak from sitting at desks and, you know, lounging around cars and sofas. Okay. This is also stretching open the internal organs, the front of the body, those digestive organs. The extreme camel is to take the hands down to the ankles, but I would recommend if you're going for that sometime, put a block there so it's easier. Having the hands here is good because it's actually supporting in there. It also helps, this pose helps open the thyroid and parathyroid, gives them the stretch to activate them. So breathing in, coming up, and after that pose, as you will feel, it will feel quite strong here into the lower back. Ooh. Lowering down, sitting on your heels, widening up the knees, stack one fist on top of the other, and slowly, slowly counterpose, forehead to fists, okay? And just breathe there. Breathe, 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 breathe. Breathe, 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 breathe. Letting go, let the shoulders go, let the face relax, jaw relax. Nothing to do for a moment, okay? And, you know, also the camel pose, it releases a lot of stress that we tend to hold stress in our belly. So it opens up the solar plexus. And that helps to release anxiety. It'll stretch the thighs, the chest, the shoulders, the throat, legs, strengthens legs, pelvis, and lower back. And really increases and improves circulation, improves posture, obviously, and spinal flexibility. And as a pose, it really energizes the body and the mind. So if you're feeling really sluggish, it's a good pose to do. And then let's do, as a counterpose, the child pose. So depending on your belly, if you've got a little bit of middle age spread, kindly rub your middle age spread and then bring the torso down, relaxing until you can put forehead to floor or forehead on blocks, and then bring the hands back so that their palms upwards by the ankles, and just releasing and relaxing into that. How does that feel? Nothing to do. Letting go of the arms, those of security, those of safety. Such a nurturing, healing pose, and it also alleviates head, neck, chest pain, helps it open the pelvic floor and the upper and lower back and the hips, and reduces stress. And you know, it's a good one to use if you just want some time out from chaos in your life. Relax into the child pose. It's your chance to assess your body. How is your body doing? And because it's an inversion as well, it'll calm the central nervous system. And it said it gives a nice rest to the brain. Okay. So to come up out of that, slide the hands to the sides of the head, push with the hands, coming up to seated. If you have a small cushion or block around, it's quite good to sit. The sitting bones on that, okay. Pull the muscles of the buttocks backwards a little, and just widen out the legs, okay. Nice and wide. Careful of these adductors, especially if it's the morning, they'll be cold, they'll be stiff, they'll be unused. And just rub the legs, give them a bit of a massage. Interestingly, the body responds, whether it was a masseur doing this or yourself doing this, the body responds as, you know, it's loving touch. Nice loving touch. So the forward bend from this pose, forward angle bend, it strengthens again around the lower back, right? You know, it's stretching it, and it's stretching the inner thighs and hamstrings. And it's relaxing this upper back and the front of the torso. So to go into it, we need to breathe in and go up, lengthen, 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 as though you're trying to reach something on the ceiling. And then breathe out, keep the rib cage up, so there's nice room for those internal organs. So it's like you lift the rib cage up and over. Okay, so up and over, breathing out, down. So you can either reach for your toes, like so, and bring the forehead gently towards the floor. If you feel that's a bit too stretchy, just bring the legs in a bit, okay? And I mean, technically, we're aiming for the forearms on the floor, but it's early morning on a very cold March morning in England here. And really the body for me is too cold, so I'm just taking it nice and gently. Gentle forward bend, gently stretching the hamstrings, breathing into it. Okay. And the main thing is never to really push something too much. Overstretching is, I don't know, it's part of the kind of competitive, no pain, no gain culture. And for me, yoga is about listening to the body, changing myself emotionally so that I feel happier, and bringing the whole system into equilibrium. So my pushing, striving self, which there is one in there, I try not to bring that into yoga. It sneaks in there. Right, so to come out of that, slow, 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 take the hands right up to the ceiling, breathe out and come down. Okay, and then it's a short session this morning, just sitting comfortably, pausing, closing the eyes, relaxing all the shoulders. And then we can get on with whatever we're doing next, feeling a little bit more energized. Thank you.